Welcome to our series where we discuss key things to consider while selling your technology business. I'm Sid Nair. In my role as National Technology M&A Leader, I explore how we can bring innovative solutions to our clients as they look to navigate the complex world of M&A. In today's session, we focus on the critical role that legal advisors play on a deal. Today we have with us Hunter Forman. Hunter is a partner at Torkin and is part of their business law, private equity and emerging companies group and works on a number of technology transactions as part of his role. Let's get right into it. So what are the things often overlooked by tech entrepreneurs from a legal standpoint while considering a transaction?
So there's quite a few, especially given that tech companies often are in the startup space, but let me give you my top four. Number one would be that their existing contracts with employees, service providers, tech developers, unfortunately are not robust enough to ensure that the company owns and has all the rights to its intellectual property in a way that they can utilize on a go-forward basis that satisfies potential purchasers. Number two would being aware of if any of your existing contracts have consent requirements from counterparties for things like change of control, assignment, amalgamation. These can become problematic when attempting to close the transaction because you'd actually have to go out to these counterparties and seek their approval before you close. Number three, and unfortunately this is something that's often overlooked by early stage tech companies that are trying to minimize legal spend, is making sure you have a robust data, privacy, and security policy. These are certain things that can create liability for the company and that purchasers can see and can actually harm valuation during the due diligence process.
Hunter, we've worked collaboratively on technology transactions in the past. Could you help clients understand how you've worked with the EY team on these transactions and why it's important for both financial and legal advisors to work together on deals?
I think it's important to have advisors who are well versed in the technology industry. Often it's easy to get caught up on only legal or financial outcomes, but when we're driving a deal forward, it's very important to our clients that we focus on the business as a whole. So things like technology, customers, employees are all important. So when we make decisions and we guide our clients, it's important for us to keep those things in mind, and we can do a better job of that if we really are well aware of the industry. Second, you want advisors who have done this before and who are capable of actually quarterbacking and driving the deal forward. There are thousands of moving pieces and closing deliverables as part of an M&A transaction. You need someone who's done it before. You need someone who can keep these things in order, drive them forward, keep deal momentum going. The third is you want advisors who can collaborate with one another and spot issues and solve problems before they actually happen. I mean, Sid, on the deal we did together back in 2021, like almost all technology M&A transactions we do, there's a handful of problems that are simply going to come up. You don't want advisors who don't catch them before they happen. You don't want advisors who bring you problems and don't bring you solutions. Fortunately, having done this dozens and dozens and dozens of times, we have a good sense of the issues that actually are going to come up, and we have solutions for almost all of them. So when we bring you a problem, we like to bring you a handful of solutions. And having advisors who have done this a number of times before increases the odds that that's going to happen and you're going to drive forward a positive outcome. The fourth point, as we've already mentioned, we've done this a number of times. For the most part, our sell-side clients have not. So we need to educate them about the process. We need to bring things to them and communicate them to them in a way that allows them to be at the table in the decision-making process.
Those are great insights, Hunter. Tell us, what are the key SPA points other than price that should be ironed out by your financial and legal advisors before choosing a final buyer?
Yeah, once you get beyond price, I think a key thing for sellers is mitigating their go-forward risk pursuant to the purchase agreement. Certain ways to do that include, is this deal going to be a reps and warranty insured deal? Then you get into a bit of an argument about who picks up the cost of that insurance. Is it going to be the purchaser? Is it going to be the sellers? Is it going to be split? There's other ways to mitigate that risk, such as holdbacks under the purchase agreement or escrow. Often sellers don't like to have a portion of their purchase price escrowed, but it's not the worst thing in the world if your liability is actually capped at that escrow amount, or if you have a large amount of vendors and you don't want to be running around to each of the vendors to collect their pro rata share of the claim. So it's actually nice to have some money that's sitting there that can be utilized for a breach post-closing. Other things include, are the sellers going to be asked to sign up for non-competition, non-solicitation covenants? What's going to be the term of those and the scope of those post-closing?
Thank you so much for joining me, Hunter. Appreciate your time and your insights.
And thanks so much for having me, Sid. It was fantastic.
It's really important that your M&A and legal advisors work collaboratively as partners. Not only does that ensure that your client is well prepared in advance of the transaction, but is also aware of the interplay between the legal, business, and financial aspects during negotiations. Time and again, we've seen that a partnership approach between advisors has made the transaction process more efficient.